Alrighty, good morning everybody. Guys, if it's your very first time here, won't you just give me a wave, even just drop an emoji with your hands up so that I know that it's your very first time. And then I just want to say welcome. So welcome to everybody. If you are a regular, like Jess and Faith, people that I'm used to seeing here, great, welcome back to you too. And if it's your very first time here in this live, welcome. I hope that you enjoy it and that you will definitely be back again. MJ, so MJ, your first time, welcome MJ, so glad that you're here and hopefully that you will be back again. So for everybody that's a first timer, MJ gave me a follow. Thank you, Toli. Welcome. I see that it's your first time. Beautiful. See, Jess is even saying welcome, MJ. So for all the first timers, the regulars will know this, but for all the first timers, first of all, hi guys, my name is Mia. I go live Monday to Friday. So every Monday to Friday, 6:30 in the morning, I go live. And just essentially what we're doing here in this live is that we are just getting our mindset right before we step into the day. Letabo, I see you. Welcome. Okay, so that's what we're doing here in this live. So yes, I'm getting ready for work. I'm putting on my makeup and I'm chatting to you guys as well, all right? But essentially, it's much more than makeup. So if makeup is how I get ready for the external world, then what we do here in this live, we are focusing on the internal world that we have control over. That's what we're focusing on. So the things that we have control over, we're getting our mindset right for the day. What are the things that we have control over? I am going to start going in with my color corrector while I tell you. So what are the things we have control over? The regulars will know. We have control over the thoughts that we entertain, the thoughts that we think about as we go through the day, okay? We have control over the affirmations. So what are we affirming about ourselves as we go through the day? That's what we have control over. Alrighty, where is my blending sponge? Oh, there it is. Give me a second. Okay, that's what we have control over. The stories that we tell ourselves, that's another thing. Fundi Africa, I see that you just gave me a follow and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I see Jess is agreeing with me. She says, yes, ma'am, we do have control over our thoughts. That's exactly that, okay? So that's what we want to focus on in this live. Before we step into the day and before we go and play with other kids, we want to focus on the things that we actually do have control over. How we choose to step into the day, how we choose to show up for this day, that's actually within our control. We can't control how other people behave. We can't control the situations and the circumstances outside there, okay? But we can control what's going on in here, in our inner world, up here. Okay, we are with ourselves the whole day, guys, the whole day. We are up here. What does this conversation sound like? Last week I asked the question, if your inner world was a home, is it somewhere that you actually enjoy being? Or are you trying to escape every chance that you get? Okay? Okay, so we want to make our inner world a place that we actually enjoy being in, okay? We don't want to be trying to escape our thoughts. No, we actually want to enjoy being up here in our mind, right? We want to enjoy it. You know that when you're like, oh my gosh, I enjoy my company, my own company so much. I'm having such a great time in my own internal world. I'm having such a great time with my own thoughts. Yeah? Yeah, so that's where we want to be. So for those of you that are new, every week we have a theme. Sorry, I'm just blending over my mouth and talking at the same time. Talk about multitasking. So every week we have a theme, okay? So every week we have a theme and every day the topic will speak back into the theme, all right? So last week our theme was rebuilding our inner world, rebuilding our inner world. And this week our theme is we are in our embodiment era. We are in our embodiment era. So let me explain it like this. Last week, we were busy working on our inner world, okay? If our inner world is a garden, last week we were plucking out the weeds. That's what we were doing. We were pulling out the weeds. What are the weeds? The weeds are old thoughts, old beliefs that no longer serve us. So that's what we were doing last week. We were examining that. If our inner world is a home, then last week we were clearing the clutter. That's what we were doing, okay? But back to the garden in analogy, we were plucking out weeds. That's what we were doing last week. We were plucking out weeds. We were examining old thoughts, old beliefs, beliefs. We were chucking it out. Does this still serve me? Do I need to upgrade this type of thinking? That's how we approached last week, plucking out the weeds. And then we were also planting new seeds, right? So what are the new seeds? New ideas, new thoughts, new affirmations. So we were planting new seeds as well. So we were plucking old stuff out and we were planting new seeds. All right. Goli, I see that you just got the #1 gifter badge. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm going to come back to the comments in a little bit. Don't worry. Saloma, I saw the follow and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay. So that's what we were doing last week, rebuilding our inner world. So plucking out weeds, planting new seeds, and then we've got to also water. So when you are busy gardening, right, and you're planting new seeds, you've also got to water those seeds. Goli, I see you, and thank you so much. I also see the follow, and I appreciate it so much. Okay, so you've also got to water the seeds, right? We've got to care for the seeds. We've got to water the seeds. And that's what we need to do with the new ideas that we're planting, okay? The new thoughts, the new affirmations, the new beliefs. That's what we've got to do. It's our responsibility to water the new seeds in our garden. The garden is our inner world, our inner life, okay? That's the stuff that other people can't see about, right? But it's the stuff that happens before we take action, right, in our lives. And eventually, when we are watering this garden, watering our seeds, what's going to happen? Well, these seeds are going to bloom. That's what's going to happen, right? The flowers are going to bloom. That right there, that blooming, the flowers blooming, the flowers blossoming, that is embodiment. That is embodiment, okay? That's when we move from I know the thing to I am the thing. I know the thing to I am the thing. Jess, I see you, girl. Thank you so much for that. Jess says, girl, you are so on point. Lee, I see you. Good morning to you too. So that's embodiment. When we move from knowing the thing to being the thing, that's when we flower, okay? That's when we flower in our lives. And that's where we want to be, guys. We want to be flowering. We want to be blossoming. We want to be blooming, all right? So we want to move from I know to I am. I am being the thing. So today's topic specifically, guys, your actions are speaking. What are they saying about you? Your actions are speaking. What are they saying about you? Because the truth is, our actions are always speaking. The question is, what are they saying about us? So I've got a question. If someone had to follow you around for 24 hours, so someone's following you for 24 hours, and in that 24 hours, you can't say anything. So you can't audibly say to somebody, hi, I'm Mia, and I believe in having a positive mindset. You can't say that. You can't speak, actually, for these 24 hours. And what they're going to do in these 24 hours is just look at your actions. What would your actions be saying about you? What story would your actions be saying about you? So if they had to give a report back at the end of the day, after spending 24 hours with you, what story would your actions tell them? Think about it. Would they report back at the end of the day that, oh my gosh, she's so grounded in peace. She's so grounded in peace. And she's so grounded in peace. I know this because I spent 24 hours with her and I just saw her actions. Is that the report back that they would give? Or would the report back be like, oh my gosh, she spent the whole day responding to the outside world. The whole day. Is that the report back? So just give it some thought. You don't have to answer right away, but it's something that I do want you to think about. And the reason why I want you to think about it is because that's where embodiment lives. Okay? So if we can't say to people, hi, I'm Mia, and I believe in having a positive mindset, If someone spent 24 hours with me, would they be able to tell that about me based on my actions? So we want to get to a space where we don't have to announce to people that we've changed. We don't have to go around telling people that we've changed, because our seeds have now blossomed. They are flowers and they speak for themselves. Yes? If you are still with me, you can double tap the screen. Let me know that you are still here. And if you are like, man, I am ready to blossom, I am ready to bloom in my life, then you can drop me a flower emoji. Because that is what our topic is and our theme for this week. We are just in our embodiment era. We want to move from I know the thing to I am the thing. One of my favorite books is Atomic Habits. Atomic Habits, okay? And the author, James, he talks about identity-based habits. Identity-based habits. And he says that habits stick when they are identity-based. So this is when you move from saying I run to I am a runner. Can you guys feel the difference? I run to I am a runner. And the reason why I'm bringing this up while I look for my bronzer, by the way, that's what I'm looking for. Hey, Soseto, I see you, girlfriend. For now, I see that you just gave me a follow and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So the reason why I'm bringing this up specifically about habits is because behavior follows a thought. Behavior follows a thought. And what do we know about thoughts in this live? The regulars, you know the answer to this. What do we know about thoughts? Well, a thought can be changed. Siwe, thank you. I see the rose. I appreciate it so much. That's what we know, right? My regulars, you guys have been with me for a while now. You know this. A thought can be changed. So if we don't like the action, what does that tell us? We've got to go back to the thought, okay? It's the thought first, the action follows. Right? Right. And here in this world being this live, in our world over here, we want to move from I know about peace to I am peace. That's the movement that we want to make. We want to embody that. I am peace. See what it says? I'm fighting so hard to change my thoughts. So, Siwe, the gift is awareness also. So the gift is awareness. You just want to become aware of what you are thinking about, right? You can't change something that you are not aware of. So we want to wake up to ourselves. Zinhle, I see the follow and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So we want to wake up to ourselves. We want to become aware as we go through the day, all right? So don't worry so much about, oh my God, I can't change my thoughts right now. Rather focus on, let me become aware of the thing that I am thinking. What is it that I am thinking? Is this thing serving me? Is it uplifting me? Is it building me up? And if it's not, can I think a new thought? And then you can start playing around with, well, what is the new thought that would lift me up, that would inspire me, that would empower me? Am I making sense? But the first place that we start is just with being aware, okay? So that's where we start, see where. So we are just, so if you are like, okay, you're struggling to change your thoughts, but you are aware that your thoughts need changing, that is a win. Okay, that is a win. Perfect. So you go through your day, you are winning because you're becoming aware. Now you can start to play around. Okay, I've been entertaining this thought. It is not serving me. It is not lifting me up. It is not building me up. This thought needs to change. Now you can start playing around. What thought could I replace this thought with? What thought could be a better thought that I can think, right? Do you get where I am, Siwe? But the win is being aware. That's the win. Okay, That is the win. Waking up to ourselves. That is the win. Hey, Vanessa. Vanessa just gave me a follow. Thank you so much. That is the win. We want to wake up to ourselves. Okay? We don't want to sleepwalk through the day. I think I've said this. We don't want to sleepwalk through the day. We want to be awake. Being awake means being aware as we go through the day. Okay, I'm going to quickly go in and I'm going to blend out my bronzer. See, I'm even forgetting what I wanted to say. But essentially, where I'm going with this is a thought comes before a behavior. So therefore, a mindset shift, right? A mindset shift, and that's why we focus on mindset here in this live. A mindset shift will come first, and the habits will follow after. And that's why I wanted to just touch on those identity-based habits that the author of Atomic Habits was talking about. All right, guys, if you are still with me, you can double tap the screen. Let me know that you are still here. If you feel like, yes, you are with me and you're like, oh, I'm so ready to go step into this embodiment era, give me a flower. Drop a flower emoji because you want to bloom. You're like, oh, you know what? I want to bloom. You know, I want to get to a space where it's not just knowledge up here, but it's embodied. That if someone spent 24 hours with me, they would be like, oh, she is so grounded in peace. And they would know that not because I tell them, but because my actions tell them. Okay? Vanessa, I see the flowers. Thank you. Nokolo, hello, babe. I see the flowers. Thank you. Siwe, I see that you like the live. Thank you. Let me go up here and see some of these comments. Jess says, believe me, people, I was not peaceful at all. I wasn't blooming. Now I am. I absolutely love that for you, Jess. Love that. Vanessa says, you are so inspiring. Thank you. Vanessa, I appreciate the compliment so much, but I always say this because I want you guys also to realize that the power lies with you, okay? So I can come to a live and I can inspire you, okay? But the power lies with you. You've got to walk away and you've got to play during your day, okay? So you've got to walk away. You've got to put what you hear here to practice. You've got to play during the day so that you can have evidence for yourself, okay? What evidence am I talking about? The shift within yourself. That's the evidence that I'm talking about, okay? So that's what I mean. So I appreciate the compliment. I really, really do. But I want you guys to also remember that it's much more than just coming and sitting and listening to a live. It's also, I have responsibility. I am responsible for what's happening in my internal world. I'm responsible for the stories that I'm telling myself. I'm responsible for the affirmations I'm affirming I'm responsible for that, right? So it's us taking responsibility for what's happening in our inner world, this garden where we are plucking out old seeds, planting in new seeds, watering these new seeds. And we obviously want to get to a space where we bloom, right? Where we bloom and we blossom, okay? And people can see the change, not because we tell them, but because it's evident and it's obvious and our actions show it when we embody the thing. Alrighty, so let me just go up here a little bit to the comments. Siwa says, okay, self-awareness, exactly that, babe. And then I see Jess was responding to you and says, and being present. Siwa says, waking up to ourselves. That's exactly it. That's what we're doing. So every day we are becoming, right? As long as we woke up today, the story's not over, right? So we are still becoming, okay? And as we becoming, we are waking up to ourselves every day, right? Jeff says, self-awareness isn't necessarily bad, guys. Very needed for a fruitful life, fruits of the spirit. Self-awareness is a gift. It is a gift, guys, because when you are aware of what needs to be changed, you can make the change. You can start working on making the change. All right. See where I think I read that comment. Let me just see if there's anything else that I'm missing. Okay, I think I've read all the comments. Yes, yes. All right, let me go back down to the bottom. If you are still here, won't you double tap the screen? Let me know that you are still with me. Alrighty, guys. So in our world, we want to move. Okay, I think I'm happy with my bronzer blend. I think it's time to blend out my concealer. Okay, I'm going to go in. I'm going to blend out my concealer. If it's your very first time here, before I continue, if it's your very first time here, welcome, welcome. You can just give me like a wave emoji to let me know that it's your very first time here. I'll give you a shout out. I'll give you a welcome. And hopefully you will definitely be back again. If you're wondering, what are we doing here in this live? So we are getting our mindset right before we step into the day. That's what we do here in this live. We get our mindset right before we step into the day. In this live, we focus on the things that we can control. All right. So we don't focus on things that we can't control. Okay. So for instance, let's say you went for an interview and you are waiting for them to call you back, right? To tell you that you have gotten the job. You can't control how long it's going to take for them to call you back, right? But you can absolutely control your thoughts that you are thinking about that opportunity, right? You can control the story you're telling yourself. So as you're waiting to hear back from somebody who maybe you went to an interview and you're waiting to hear back from them, what's the story that you're telling yourself? Are you really going, you know what, things never work out for me. I should have, never gone for that interview. I wasted my time. Is that the story that you're telling yourself? Is it helpful? Does that sound peaceful to you? No. So then you need to start changing that story, right? So yes, I went to this interview. I'd love to hear back from them. They haven't gotten back to me yet. But you know what I'm going to do in the meantime? I'm going to trust. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to breathe in. I'm going to breathe out. I'm going to trust. I'm going to trust that if this job is meant for me, then you know what? It is mine. It's God who opens doors and gives opportunities. So if this job is meant for me, it is mine. So I can go around my day doing the things that I need to do. I'm going to trust. Okay. Let's say you hear back, right? And maybe the job is not yours. Well, what's the story that you're telling yourself? Are you saying, again, things never work out for me? I'm never going to get a new job. Or do you go, you know what? That was a great opportunity. Thank you. I learned so much from that interview, actually. Yeah, I can sit and I can think about what went well in that interview. Maybe next time I need to prepare better. Yeah, that's what I need to do. Next time I need to prepare better. You know what? Thank you. I trust that I've learned what I needed to learn from that interview process. Yep. Now I know how to prepare better for the next interview. Yep. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to prepare better. And you know what? I trust that there's a better opportunity awaiting me. Yep. Oh yeah, absolutely. I trust that there's a better opportunity just waiting for me. Yep. I'm going to get ready for that opportunity. Yeah. I'm going to get ready. That's what I'm going to do. Do you feel the difference? As I'm going through that, do you feel the difference between something that's not in my control and you can spiral if it's not in your control, or you can choose peace? And how do you choose peace? Well, by your thoughts. Do you feel, just me saying it, do you feel the difference? Okay? Do you feel the difference? Another example, someone doesn't text you back or they don't respond to you as soon as you want them to respond to you. You can't control when someone is going to text you back. You can't control when they do respond or they don't respond. So what do? Are you going to spiral? Oh my God, he doesn't love me. I knew it. I knew he doesn't love me. That's why he hasn't texted back. Is that helpful? Or do you go, you know what? He didn't text me back and that's okay. Maybe he's busy and that's okay because I'm busy. I'm busy too. I'm busy living my life. I'm busy enjoying my life. I'm busy tending to my inner world. This garden that I have within me, I'm busy tending to my inner world. I'm looking at my thoughts. I'm looking at my beliefs. I'm wondering, do they serve me? Don't they serve me? I'm busy too. And that's okay. And you know what? As I'm learning, as I'm growing, I'm getting better at this. I'm getting better at choosing a partner who matches my energy. Oh, yeah, that's it. That's what's happening. Do you see the difference? Something that's outside of your control. But what's happening inside here? What's this internal chatter? Are you still with me? Are you still with me? Okay? So it's almost like the trigger stays the same. This trigger stays the same, right? But how we know that we are changing is that we respond differently. Okay, we respond differently. It's almost like outside there, it's noisy and it's chaotic, but inside here, it's peaceful. It's really, really peaceful. I am peace. I am peace. And if someone spent 24 hours, they'd be able to tell that about me, because my actions even say that. Yes? Are you still with me? Give me a double tap on the screen if you are still with me. So something that I wanted us to do today was also just look at old self, how the old self behaves, and how the behavior we want to move into in our embodied self, in our changed self, our changed mindset. Okay, so some examples, and then you can, oh geez, what's happening? Sorry, I'm about to bake my face if you're wondering. So some examples: old self responds, or old self reacts. Something happens and old self reacts from fear. But my new embodied self pauses, breathes in and out, and then reacts, or responds rather, from peace. Okay, it's when we start choosing a different response. Same trigger maybe, but you know what? My response is different. My response is from peace. Old self might be trying to prove that I'm worthy. Old self, that's my old self, trying to prove that I'm worthy, trying to prove that I'm worthy. You know, when you're trying to prove that you're worthy, it becomes a performance, eh? You know what I mean? Or am I the only one that can relate? So old self becomes a performance. Old self, it's performing, right? Trying to prove that I'm worthy. But new embodied self says, no. I am worthy. I am worthy. And I act from this space of being worthy. I'm already worthy. I don't have to prove to anybody that I'm worthy. And I can make a decision from this space of I am already worthy. Okay? Completely different from how you make a decision when you are still trying to prove to somebody that you're worthy. Are you guys with me? Can you guys think of examples? Old self, old behavior, and new self, new embodied self. When I say new embodied self, I'm talking about when we've changed our mindset, when we've healed our mindset, when we've shifted our mindset. That's what I'm talking about. All right? Old self needs to control everything. Needs to control everything. New embodied self, I trust the process. I don't need to control the outcome. No, I don't need to control the outcome. I trust the process, and I trust the timing. I trust God's timing. I trust the timing for my life. I trust that I'm right on time. I'm not behind. I'm right on time. Right on time for my life. I trust the process. I trust that as I tend to my garden, as I tend to this garden, as I examine old thoughts that no longer serve me, as I examine old beliefs that no longer serve me, as I plant new seeds and I water the new seeds, so that's new ideas. Maybe I've got to learn some new affirmations that I can say to myself, so that when that old negative thought rears its head, I can say, that's how I used to think, but actually this is how I'm choosing to think right now. So I trust that while I'm doing this, that one day these seeds, they're going to bloom. I trust that they're going to blossom. I trust that they're going to blossom. And when they do, other people will say, oh my God, you've changed. But they'll say that not because I'm walking around telling them that I've changed, because it's evident. It's evident in my actions, because I used to think about peace, but I am peace. Do you guys, are you still with me? Are you still with me? And can you feel the difference? And can you think of examples? Old self used to rush. Old self used to rush. Rush here, rush there. New embodied self says, no, I move with intention. I move with intention. So what does that mean? That means I know it takes me an hour to get ready in the morning. So therefore, I give myself an hour to get ready in the morning. I move with intention. Yes? Yes, old self. Old self likes to people please. Old self likes to say yes, even when old self wants to say no. Okay? New embodied self, report back that they would give. Or would the report back be like, oh my gosh, she spent the whole day responding to the outside world. The whole day. Is that the report back? So just give it some thought. You don't have to answer right away, but it's something that I do want you to think about. And the reason why I want you to think about it is because that's where embodiment lives. Okay? So if we can't say to people, hi, I'm Mia, and I believe in in having a positive mindset. If someone spent 24 hours with me, would they be able to tell that about me based on my actions? So we want to get to a space where we don't have to announce to people that we've changed. We don't have to go around telling people that we've changed. Says no. No, I'm not saying yes to this. I'm saying no. I am protecting my peace. This doesn't align with my peace. I'm saying no. I'm saying no, and I'm not going to feel guilty about it. Are you guys still with me? And can you think of examples as I'm giving you these examples? Can you think of examples, old self versus new embodied self? Old self versus new embodied self. And it's good to know what our old self does or did. Okay? It's good. Right? So it's not like we're in denial. No, we're aware. We are waking up to ourselves. So we are very aware. I am so aware of how my old self behaves. But baby, I am also aware about how my new self behaves. Yes? Yes. Jess says yes, write it down if you have to. Exactly. Write it down if you have to. Absolutely. I'm old school, guys. I keep a journal, so I love to write. But I mean, take out your pen if you're like, take out your phone and make a note on your phone, okay? That's what I mean. Good morning, dear. I see you. Okay, let me go to some of these comments. Let me go. Where did I get to last? Okay, I think I got to, so Vanessa, I remember reading your comment. Okay, let me go through. Fana says, this is the content I signed up for. Oh, I love that. And if you feel like Fana feels, if you feel like this is the content that you signed up for, I love that, by the way. If you feel like you are gaining value from these lives, give me a follow so that you know tomorrow when I go live. So TikTok gives you a notification that I'm live, and then you can come and you can join in tomorrow's live. Okay, so if you feel like you agree with Fanai and you feel like this is the content that you signed up for, if you feel that you are gaining value from this session, if you're not already following me, then go ahead and give me a follow. What will happen is that when I go live, I do go live Monday to Friday, 6:30 in the morning. But what will happen is that when I go live, TikTok will notify you that I've gone live, and that will be your cue. So remember last week we spoke about habits and how habits are formed. That will be your cue to join the live. And then you can continue to enjoy the content for now and continue to reap value from these sessions. Also, the other thing, the value actually comes from you doing the work. That's where the real value comes from. So you've got to then go and do the work. So my commitment to you is I will show up Monday to Friday at 6:30 in the morning. I will be here, okay? And I will come and I will share ideas with you, things that I've learned in the past, things that I'm currently learning. I will be here. That's my commitment to you. But your commitment to you must be that you will do the work. I can't do the work for you, right? I can come and I can share, this is an idea. This is how I think we should do things, guys. This is how we should be approaching things, okay? I can come and I can share that. But your own commitment to yourself must be that you will walk away and you will play. You will play with these ideas. You will test it out for yourself, okay? So that you have evidence. So we want to move knowledge from here to here. The only way we move knowledge from here to here is actually when we test it out and we play around with it during the day. Oh, guys, so yesterday I used this I use this. It's a Yardley Sun Glow Illuminating Loose Powder. So I want to use it, but I want to use it again on top of my blush. So I went in today with a bit of pink blush. It was the Essence Baby Got Blush. So now I want to just go in with this. So I think it's almost like highlighting. I quite liked it yesterday, but I felt like I needed a bit of blush underneath it. Okay, random. I am doing my makeup as I chat to you. Okay, Jess says, yes, ma'am, I believe that God is in control and he will give you what you need according to his will. Absolutely, he knows what's better for you. And also just think about, when you think of things like that, how does that make you feel? It gives you peace, right? That's within our control. Peace is our power, right? Meaning that we can choose to think a peaceful thought, a thought that feeds into our peace, or we can choose a thought that is chaotic and feeds into chaos and anxiety. Okay. Alrighty, let me go up a little bit. Let me see. If you're still with me, give me a double tap on the screen. Let me know that you are still here. I do understand that it's early in the morning and that some people might still be bathing. That's what we had yesterday. I can't remember who said it, but it was so funny. I was like, give me a tap on the screen. Let me know that you're still here. And then she was like, listen, some of us are busy bathing while we listen to you. So it's like, okay. So I completely get it. Maybe some of you are listening to me podcast style. But for those that are not bathing and not listening to me podcast style, tap the screen. Let me know that you are still here. If you haven't dropped a flower emoji yet, this is your chance. Drop a flower emoji. What does the flower emoji stand for? It just means, yes, I'm ready to blossom. I'm ready to bloom. That's what the flower emoji is for. So drop a flower emoji. If you haven't, you still have a chance. And I'm going to go in quickly with my setting spray. Okay, I'm going to go in with my setting spray. I think I am happy with the shimmer. Can you guys see the shimmer? So can you see? Okay, I think I like the shimmer. I like the golden, the glow. I like the glow. All right, and I'm going to read some of these comments. Okay, so let me first just set my face very quickly. Rimmel lasting spray, setting my face, and then I'm going to go into the comments while I finish off. How am I doing for time? 12 minutes past 7. I think I'm doing okay. Okay, that's the setting spray. I love the setting spray. The regulars will know. I feel like it lasts all day. Like in the evening when I wash my face, I'm like, wow, this setting spray. That's literally the conversation that I have with myself. Okay, so I'm going to go in with my eyeliner, but I do want to read some of your comments. Let's see. Jess says, also a powerful prayer. God, remove from my life all that does not belong, but be aware it works. That is a beautiful prayer. But we've also got to do the work. We've also got to do the work, right? We've also got to become aware. We've also got to be honest, be like, I'm entertaining this thought that's not serving me, yeah? Faith says, well, I'm at peace, but my friend triggered every time and she's crashing out. How can I help her? So Faith, what I want to say is you can't control that your friend gets triggered every time, okay? So she needs to join these lives. That's what your friend needs to do. So invite her to come and join the lives, okay? So you can't control that she gets triggered, but you can control what's going on in your world. So remember how other people behave. That is something that is outside of our control. We cannot control that. We can maybe share that, listen, friend, I see that you're getting triggered. Do you know this is what I'm doing in my life that helps me when I get triggered, right? So you can share what's working for you, perfect, but you can't control whether your friend listens to that. You can't control whether, she thinks you're crazy. You can't control that. Do you get what I'm saying, Faith? So we also need to take our focus away from the things that we can't control, bring our focus back to self, where we do have control of what's happening in our inner world. We can help people, we can give people ideas, but we are not responsible for them acting on those ideas, right? We can share what's working for us, but the responsibility lies with friend, right? The responsibility lies with friend. She's got to get to a place where she's like, woo, maybe I need to change. And you can't do that for her, okay? But you can invite her to this live. You can. Jess says, at Faith, she said, I had severe social anxiety and used to crash out so fast, but it's daily work on the self. Yeah, daily work on the self. Jess, I'm so glad you brought that up. So guys, every day we bath our physical body. We shower every day, right? And if you're not, well, I'm so judging you. But you get where I'm going with this, right? Every day we are bathing our physical body. We are taking a shower every day, right? We don't do it on Monday and hope that, well, we stay clean up until Friday. No, we do it daily. All right. We do it twice a day. I hope everybody here is bathing twice a day, right? So we need to be doing the same thing with our thoughts. So making a mindset shift, it's not a one-time activity. It's not something you do on Monday and hope that, well, that's the work that I did on Monday, I hope that it carries on out until Friday. No. Same way that I bath, same way that I shower, I need to make sure that, okay, daily I am working on this garden that is my inner world. Daily, I'm becoming aware. What is it that I'm thinking? Is it serving me? Daily, I'm, inspecting what's going on in my inner world. It's a daily thing. And we can only live this life one day at a time, okay? I always say this. We're not trying to live the rest of the year today. We're trying to live today. Therefore, we are focusing on what is in our control today, Tuesday, today, this new day that God has given me. What is in my control? Oh, wow, I get to choose how I show up today. Oh, wow, I get to choose the thoughts that I think today. Oh, wow, I get to choose what I affirm about myself today. All right? That's where it's at. We're just living today. And that's okay. So you bath today for today. You live today for today. We're checking our mindset today. Tomorrow we get back here, 6:30 in the morning. We check our mindset again. The next day we get back here, 6:30 in the morning. We check our mindset again. I can't put on makeup on Monday and hope that the makeup lasts me all week. No. I've got to wash it off and I've got to put it back on again. Okay. Daily work, daily work. One moment at a time, one thought at a time. So another thing, if you're brand new here, every day we've also got a challenge, okay? So I always say this, we don't just come to live and listen and sit and, ooh, I feel all motivated. No. We need to leave and we need to play, okay? We need to play. That's our responsibility. So every day we've got a challenge. And today our challenge is simple. Our challenge is that before we react to anything today, we want to pause. We want to pause. The power is in the pause. We want to pause. We want to ask ourselves, am I reacting from a place of fear, or am I responding from a place of peace within myself? That's it. The win today is in the pause. That's the win. Did I pause before I reacted or responded? Did I think to myself, am I reacting or responding from a place of fear or from the peace I feel within myself? Okay, that's the win. It's the pause. It's also where the power is. If you react differently to something today, so let's say the trigger is the same. I don't know what the trigger is. We all know, right? The trigger is the same, but you pause. You check yourself. Am I responding and reacting from a place of fear? Or am I responding and reacting from a place of peace within myself? That's the win. If you respond differently, that's the bonus point. Okay. But we're not aiming for the bonus point. I'm just letting you know what the bonus point is. We're aiming for the win. And the win is, I'm pausing. I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. I'm thinking, where's this reaction coming from, this response? Is it coming from fear, or is it coming from this peace? This peace that's within my control, that is within my center. So we want to move from I know the thing to I am the thing. We want to move from I know about peace, I am peace. And if somebody spent 24 hours with me, my actions would tell the story that I am grounded in peace. So if you are like, yes, I am so up for this challenge, give me a yes in the comments. So will you take on this challenge today? So yes or no question. Will you take on this challenge today? Will you pause before you react, before you respond? Will you pause? Will you check in with yourself? Where is this coming from, my response? Is it coming from a place of fear? Is it coming from the peace that I feel within me? And if somebody was spending the day with you, think about at the end of the day, what would they say? What would your behavior, what's the story that your behavior would tell them? That's embodiment. When we don't need to tell anybody that we've changed, but our behavior says it. That means that we've moved from I know the thing to I am the thing. Are you still with me? Give me a double tap on the screen. Let me just see these comments. Sasetu says, I can't do it versus I can learn to do it. Oh, beautiful. That is such a good example. That is such a good example. Sasetu, absolutely, I can't do it versus I can learn to do it. Oh my gosh, I can learn to do it. That's in my control. Having a willing mindset, having that willingness to learn, that is within my control. So I absolutely love that, Sasetu. Love that. Alrighty. Jess says, old self used to feel awkward and didn't mix with anyone. New self goes into crowds and serves others. That is such a good example. Such a good example. I absolutely love that. So in other words, Jess, are you saying new self says, I don't have to hide anymore? Is that what it's saying? Jess says, everyone says I've changed. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. We don't want to walk around telling people that we've changed. Nah, our actions must say that. Okay? Because then that means that a mindset shift has happened. Okay? And the flowers are blooming. Alrighty? People can see, that garden over there, it's got some pretty flowers. Okay. Let me go. So I'm reading from the bottom up, but nevertheless, Jess says, yes, ma'am, no more Heidi. I am worthy and I know that now. Guys, that is so the truth. And if you haven't been affirming that about yourself, I hope that you will walk away with that as an affirmation today, because you are so worthy. What are you worthy of? You are worthy of changing. You are worthy of good things, okay? You are worthy of the best. Okay, the best for you, the best for you. You are so worthy. So if you walk away with an affirmation today, please let it be, I am worthy. I am worthy. Because you are. And also remember, we say affirmations, the belief can catch up later. The feeling can catch up later too. Okay, but we start affirming this about ourselves. We're planting new seeds, plucking old ones. I used to think I'm not worthy. That's an old weed. We're plucking it out of the garden. We're planting a new seed. I am worthy. We need to water the seed as well as we go through the day. So it's not to say you're never ever going to think that you're not worthy, but the next time you think, oh, I'm not worthy, I used to think that. I don't think that anymore, baby. Okay. Sly says, yes. I love that, Sly. Jess says, yes, people, do your breath work. Faith says, love your makeup, sis, and you are so beautiful. Mwah. Thank you, Faith, and you are just as beautiful, baby. Jess says, you look beautiful. Thank you, Jess, and you are just as beautiful. Jess says, action, not reaction. That's exactly it. Jess says, yay. See you, babes, yeah. Notolo says, your teachings are clocking. This past weekend, I said no to someone and did not feel guilty. I love a girl that grows. Nicolo, I love that for you. I absolutely love that for you. You know, when you say no and you don't feel guilty about it, you are affirming that, hey, I can protect my peace. I am worthy. You know, this peace that I feel inside, I'm absolutely worthy to feel this peace that I feel inside. And I can say no, you know, especially if it's something that I'm saying no because that, you know, I'm protecting my peace. So Nicolo, I love that. I love that for you. Faith says, thank you, sis. God bless. God bless you too. Alrighty, guys. I see the follow, guys. If you haven't already followed me, if you found value from this session, go ahead and give me a follow. You will get a notification that I'm live tomorrow morning. You can come back and you can join the live. Pink Mochotsi. I see the flowers. So pink is ready to bloom and bloom some more. So just a quick one, guys. Our theme this week, we are in our embodiment era. That's where we're at this week. Okay. Faith says, my old self used to say yes and pleasing others, but knew I'm so free and happy and I learned boundaries. Faith, I love that. Absolutely love that for you, babes. And we can learn boundaries. As we are going, we can learn boundaries. We can learn how to put boundaries in place, right? As we learn to value ourselves, we can also learn how to put boundaries in place. Dia. Dia says, Mia's life is my first thing to be grateful for every day. Oh, Dia, I appreciate that so much. I appreciate that, Dia. But also remember that the responsibility still lies with each and every one of us here in the life to go and do the work ourselves. Okay, I think that I have gotten to the top of the comments, guys. I think I've gotten to the top of the comments. Faith says, yes, 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 of course. I'm not new self. She's not holding back. Alrighty. Jess says, fake it till you make it. Yes, that's another one. That's another one. We fake it till we make it. So you might, when you start a new affirmation, you might not necessarily feel like it. And there goes my lipstick all over my teeth. You might not necessarily feel like the new affirmation that you're affirming about yourself, but you just keep at it, right? That's how you build old beliefs and old thought patterns. You affirm something that about yourself, and that's how it installed as a belief, right? So we do the same and we upgrade the belief. Oh, okay. Jess says, really just tell yourself it's true because I promise you, you will eventually believe it. I couldn't have said it better myself. Guys, it's 7:27. My makeup is done. Thank you for spending your morning with me. I really, really appreciate it. I love the interactions. You know, I value each and every single one of you, and I love and I appreciate you. I love it when you guys come and you comment. I know that some of you are bathing when you listen to me, or maybe you're doing something else, so you're listening to me podcast style and you can't necessarily comment, you can't necessarily double tap the screen. I completely get that. I still appreciate that your presence. I still appreciate your presence and I appreciate your attention. I really, really do. I hope that you walked away today with something that you found valuable. Remember, we've got to do the work, so we've got to play during the day. That's why there's a challenge every day, okay? It's because we've got to go and we've got to play around with it. And at the end of the day, look back and ask yourself, how did you do? How did you do with the challenge today? Did you manage to pause before you reacted, before you responded? Were you able to pause and ask yourself, where are you responding from? Is it from the peace within myself, or is it from fear, right? If you respond differently to something at the end of the day, acknowledge yourself, acknowledge that, oh my gosh, you know that the trigger was the same, whatever the trigger might be, but oh my gosh, today I responded differently. Oh, that is a sign that I'm making a mental shift, right? And the other thing that I just wanted to remind each and every one of you, the shift happens inside ourselves before it happens out there in the world, okay? So we are focusing here, and here, in our internal world, okay? This is where we feel the shift. Before anybody sees that a flower is blossoming and that a flower is blooming in our garden, we feel the shift inside, okay? How do we feel the shift inside? This is what I mean, but we are watering the seeds. We're planting new seeds. We are watering the seeds, all right? I love you guys, and I will be back tomorrow morning, 6:30. So I will see you all tomorrow morning at 6:30. Have a beautiful day, as beautiful as you are. I love and I appreciate you. Goodbye.